I bow to all the seekers of truth. You have been already told about these centers within us, their qualities, and these three channels which constitute them. But one may ask, why all this instrument placed within us? With what purpose? And why evolution has to go further? The reason is, you have to now become the spirit. Go beyond your physical, emotional, mental being and become the spirit. Because spirit is the reflection of God Almighty, and spirit is the universal being within you. When you become the spirit, you become a universal being. You become a universal being doesn't mean that you take a certificate that you are a universal being. Not at all. But this state of being an universal being is manifested in you. It is manifested as a innate knowledge within you. As you have innate knowledge of colors now, you know this is this color, this is this color. You see it. In the same way, you become aware of you being a universal being. Means a microcosm becomes the macrocosm. Again I say becomes. It's not just a feeling that you have become. Like a drop becomes the ocean. But again, it's not just a mental understanding, but it is a happening. And this happening takes place, and you become a personality which leaves your boundaries, limitations, and you start seeing yourself as a very loving, affectionate, compassionate personality. When a child is born to a mother, she feels tremendous love for the child. From where does she get this love? It is innately built within her, and her love becomes doubled. Whatever love she had for herself starts flowing towards her child. But when you become a universal being, then your compassion takes a very universal personality. Then you do not think that you are an Australian or you are an Englishman or an Indian. But you just think that we are part and parcel of one universal personality. Now this feeling sometimes can be confusing, the word is. Feeling means I feel very happy, I feel very unhappy. It's all a mental projection. But it becomes part and parcel of your awareness. This is the point I want to make very clearly to you, that it becomes just an awareness of collective consciousness. Then you can't avoid it, you can't just get rid of it. As you feel for your family. Why do you feel? I mean, some even don't feel that. But most of you feel for your family, for your children, for your wives, for your brothers, sisters, father, mother. So why do you feel for them? Because you have expanded your personality. So you just feel it. But when your personality is that expanded, then the whole world seems to be your family, your relations. Then you do not see a person superficially, skin deep. But you see a person as a part and parcel of your being. Not only that, but as you can feel your own chakras on your fingertips, you can feel the chakras of another person on your fingertips. And then if you know how to correct, you can correct those centers and correct their problems. Today I'll just deal with one chakra, how when one chakra goes out of order, what happens to us. It's very interesting to find out how we suffer from so many diseases because of one center. This center is the second center of Swadhisthana. Second center of the Swadhisthana is attached to the Nabhi, the third center, and moves around the whole of that green area. It can go to the end, to the periphery, or it can be anywhere. And the duty of this center is mainly to convert the fat cells for the use of the brain. That medical science doesn't know. The other functions are to look after the liver, to look after the pancreas, look after the spleen, the kidneys, and the intestines. So when we start thinking too much, when we become futuristic, we start planning everything. I mean, sometimes people plan so much that you don't know where you are left with that plan. And that planning gives you a terrible mental exertion, and you need more energy for your cells in the brain. So this has to pass, as you see here clearly, it has to pass into your brain, the energy. But when you think too much and plan too much, and if you are successful, then you develop an institution called ego, which is a big yellow bile in your head. That's not only thing. But as you start thinking too much, you neglect all these visceras, all these organs in the viscera. And thus, you have very big problems of health to begin with. Of course, when you neglect your liver, you know, liver is, they say, you will live till your liver will allow. Now, this liver has to clean all the poison from your body. It comes out as heat and is delivered to the bloodstream. But when this is neglected, this poor liver doesn't know how to function without the energy, and all the heat is accumulated in the liver. So a person suffers from liver trouble. Now the symptoms are he gets migraine, he cannot see the sun, then also he gets very hot-tempered, irritable, angry, because there is so much of heat. Then this heat passes. I was telling in Canberra, most of the Bureaucrats have this problem because they plan too much. And where do we land with that planning, God alone knows. So, then this heat passes upward and downward. So when it passes downward, it gives you a very bad problem of terrible constipation because the heat constricts your intestine, large intestines. It also coagulates your kidneys, by which you have kidney trouble, you cannot pass your urine. Then you go on the dialysis and you are certified as really dead because you cannot last longer. It's a very expensive treatment, but doctors do not tell you frankly that, oh, you are not going to live. Then this heat can pass upward. And when it goes upward, it goes, say, to your right heart as shown there. As a result of that, you develop asthma. Of course, asthma is connected also with the left side. So when there's triggering done by the left side, then you get this horrible disease called asthma. Then this heat can go upward and can ruin your throat. It can freeze your right arm. It can make your left eye red and also your left ear deaf. But by chance, if such a person is young and using too much physical energy and mental energy, as well as drinking a lot, he can have a very fatal heart attack, a very massive one, and he may die very early in age. You must know that all such attacks at a young age always are fatal. But when you see to the other side is that there is a pancreas which is neglected. As a result of the neglect of the pancreas, you develop a disease called diabetes. Even the mothers who are extremely planning type and thinking type give that disease to their children. And children are born with diabetes. Then you have the third problem with the spleen. This is the most dangerous one. Nowadays, as the life is, we are all time bound, very particular about time. As a result of that, we have become extremely hectic. Supposing you sleep very late in the night, then you have to get up early in the morning somehow get into your clothes and run to the office. Don't even take your breakfast, your wife will give you. So on the way in the car you are eating your breakfast. And then you read the newspaper. You get a shock of your life because so many horrible things are happening. Newspapers will never give something that is good or is doing well, but something that has gone wrong to give a sensational feeling. It gives you sometimes horrible things. So early in the morning, if you read something horrible, being a human being, you are sometimes shocked. Then you find there is a jam on the way and you get so upset and all your peace is disturbed. Now this spleen is responsible for creating red blood corpuscles when you are in emergency. You must have seen when you eat your food and you run, you get a pain here. That's because your spleen is trying to pump out new RBCs. Now, to create that, this spleen has to work very hard. But it cannot understand the crazy, hectic personality. Every time it tries to cope with it, it goes crazy. So such a spleen becomes crazy, and ultimately with some triggering on the left-hand side, you develop a horrible disease called as leukemia or blood cancer. Then also your intestinal problems, the pain in the stomach and all that, indigestion, all go hand in hand only because of one center only on the right side. I have not even described the left side center. So If I describe all these, then the whole materia medica will be described. It's like that. So all the permutations and combinations of these centers give you physical problems, then the left side gives you the mental problem. Now, when the Kundalini rises, as I told you, she pierces through these centers and like pearls, the thread passes through different pearls. So the left and right hand are brought together and are nourished, and that's how you feel all right, your health is all right. So when the Kundalini rises and when she touches the spirit, the seat of the spirit here, the flow of the grace also on the sympathetic nervous system relaxes your center and nourishes them. Plus the rising of the Kundalini helps you such a lot. But unless and until you get awakening of your Kundalini and the last breakthrough of the last center, you cannot feel all right. And you have to work it out in a proper way, understandingly, how to cure yourself or how to cure others. You have to also know how to protect yourself. But you definitely become a personality who can cure people, who can cure themselves. I mean, Sahaja-yogis don't go to doctors at all, I have no question. As soon as they get into trouble, they know this burning started. Now, this is it, clear it out. They are the doctors, they get the diagnosis, they know the medicine, finished. So the first thing that happens to us, that physically you feel perfect. After that you don't age also. Your age comes down. You don't have wrinkles, you don't have worries. Because all your worries are due to your left side or right side, which is causing you two institutions of ego or super ego.